All right, man. We live.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, man?
Feeling real good, man.
I'm starting to get better. I'm about 80%, man.
Yeah.
Caught a little chest congestion, a little sinus congestion when I was in Atlanta this past week. So it was real, man. But I mustered up enough strength yesterday once I found out I was COVID negative to pop up and play in basketball league game. Because I saw the team text, right? The thread, and it wasn't a lot of responses, and I didn't want to let my man Les down. So I was like, yo, they probably ain't gonna have enough people. I'm gonna pull up.
For the Willis Reed.
Exactly. I said, listen, I ain't been balling in a couple weeks since y'all last saw me.
Mm.
I'm just coming out of bed or whatever. I'm kind of, I'm like, so I'm gonna get down here and bang on these boards. I'm putting a body on somebody. It's whatever. I'm using all my fouls.
All of them.
We got scraped though. I mean, and it was just, it was two vets and young boys that just shoot as soon as they cross half court, don't pass. It was just bad, man. It was bad. Very low IQ basketball. And it was crazy because I was getting putbacks and stuff like I was like under the rim, like going hard on both ends, getting strips against guys that are like 6'3", 6'4". I was there with it. I was trying to bang.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I like being a little overweight. You get to throw it around. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I can be on weight and just weight room strong, or I can be overweight and just throw it around real easy.
That's what you gotta do, man.
That's it, man. Take my time, throw some hips out there,
You gotta use
let
it.
people come into the bread basket. It was nice, man. It was nice, man. So it felt good, and I got to work out some of this congestion, man. So at the end of the day, everything worked out. It was just, it was wild, man.
Yeah.
It was wild, but what's new, man? What's up with the Giants, man? Let's talk about the Giants
The
real quick. That's not one of the
Giants.
main topics, but I was looking at your statuses over the weekend while I was at the music festival,
Hmm.
and you were pretty apathetic, man. Like you were really upset.
Me, yeah, I was upset,
Yeah,
but it's the same thing every week, every year. So, what I mean? I just like to, voice my frustrations because I know all my friends are gonna get me.
yeah.
So I just like to let it be known, like, look, I already know what this is about.
So did Matt get you?
Nah, he was cool. I mean, I guess he didn't want to kick me up while I was down.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
He showed
All right, you showed a little class.
the low class that he has. He showed it.
I got you. I got you. I just attribute everything to injuries, man. That was crazy. Daniel Jones tried to make a play and got knocked out.
Yeah.
Uh Saquon, that was the most unfortunate freak injury that I ever
Did you see
seen.
the guy for the couple just run into him?
Yeah, just ran into him and then he stepped on his foot. He just kind of like ran into him and stuck his foot under him. I don't think he meant to hurt him, but he
Nah, I don't,
definitely meant to
yeah,
cross his
yeah. I
path
don't
and
think he meant
bump
to
him a
hurt him,
little
but
bit.
yeah,
Yeah, so that was a little crazy. I really feel bad for Saquon though, man. I don't know if I see Cadillac Williams in his future. Remember, Cadillac Williams had these same issues, and that was a running back I was really excited to watch. I thought he was one of the better running backs of his time,
hmm,
especially coming out of Auburn. So it was a little disappointing to see that, man. But you know, Saquon's not gonna be out that long. It doesn't look too serious.
nah, low ankle sprain.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that the Giants are gonna have to move on from him, man. How do you feel about that? And not to any fault of his own.
Nah, I think we're fine. Like he was just starting to hit his stride.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't like how people call him injury prone. Like, I mean, well, it's proven. Like, I mean, he got an ACL and then he got a sprained ankle,
yeah.
but nobody's given the same grief to Christian McCaffrey, and he's more injury prone than Saquon.
I think they're both susceptible to injury, but I will say Christian McCaffrey is more injury prone,
Hmm.
overall. But yo, man, we'll get into some more NFL talk later. We got a lot of it to talk about, man. This was one of the wildest weeks ever, and I'm not holding back today, man. Do you think I should hold back?
Nah, we never hold back.
Yeah, I'm going in and I'm calling out names of people who feel like I'm not who I say I am or I'm not doing what they think I should do on situations. So it's going down today.
Okay.
All right, it's going down. And it is gonna have to start with this Kyrie Irving situation. Here we are, man. Are the Nets right about how they are handling the Kyrie Irving situation? And just to give people the story, They came out today and said Kyrie Irving will not be with the team until he's vaccinated because they're not with him playing halftime, just away games. And due to New York laws, he can't play any home games or in Brooklyn because it's considered a large event if you're not vaccinated.
So since he can't play home games in Brooklyn, he can't even go to the Garden.
No, he can't go to the Garden either. So that's what 40.
That's 41 home games, and then two.
Yeah, 43.
At least 2 games.
43 games out of the season, they're not going to have them. And that's a little more than 50%. And to only have a guy coming in and out on the road was sounding crazy from the beginning. And I think Steve Nash was hopeful and just hoping that they could find a resolution that made Kyrie happy.
Right.
But I think at this point, they just, the GM and the owner are done.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah.
I mean, what is your take on it? How would you have handled that situation? Do you think they were right?
Yeah, they were right. Like, granted, like you can't force anyone to get the vaccine.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you signed the contract and you play half the season, you're not honoring your deal.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So that's money coming out of the organization's pocket.
Yeah.
You got people that's coming to your home arena, coming to see you put on a show, coming to see KD, coming to see Harden, coming to see the rest of them. So now you're down one of your big guns. So they asked, like they did the right thing.
I feel like honoring your contract is a thing of the past in the NBA, and that's a recurring theme with our first 2 stories that we're going to talk about. I think they did the right thing too, and I'm getting a lot of flack when I talk about this on social media because people are, how could he be forced to take the vaccine? That's his body, his choice. Oh my God, who are they? They're not the government. Listen, a contract is a binding agreement.
Yes.
You perform a service for money, and you have to perform that service up to a certain standard to receive the full payout of the contract most of the time. Any sensible contract has performance standards that need to be met. If you can only do half of your job, it is up to the company if they want to pay you half your contract. But they don't have to do that. They don't have to accommodate you because just like everyone else who performs this job in this league and in this union, the players union even said it. Yeah, mandates are fair. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's what we got to do. It's a pandemic. The science is here. There's no debate.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to accommodate Kyrie. It is not about your choice. It is about your responsibility to honor your contract and to honor your teammates. There's so many directions I want to go with this, but let's start off with they're right because Kyrie Irving every season, everywhere he's gone, has had our issue. If it's not tearing down the Cavs, if it's not tearing down the Celtics, if it's not tearing down the Nets while he was injured and trying to basically get all the NBA players to boycott in the bubble, if it's not tearing down the Nets last year, disappearing, telling people he needed personal day, and then he was doing the chicken head and the stanky leg in the club with his sister, that he was going through something. It's always something. He was saging the court in Boston. He was claiming the Boston fans were racist and they didn't like him. And, but all we ever see is Kyrie destroy situations he's in. This is year number 4 of Kyrie being a destructive personality and being a disruptive personality. He brought Kevin Durant to Brooklyn specifically to form a team. And then he's abandoning Kevin Durant. That's like asking the greatest player of your time. That's like, I don't know, who could you compare this to, right? Who's a great point guard? That's like Tim Hardaway convincing Michael Jordan to come play with him and then losing his mind. Just like, hey, Mike, thanks for coming here. But I'm done.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm out. I appreciate it, but I want to go on a vision quest. I want to be Ricky Williams today. I want to be Lawrence Phillips tomorrow. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand how people think that this is okay. But when I say that the Nets did the right thing, and I applaud them for taking the stand against the over-empowerment of NBA players, this is it. It's right here. You have a contract. The fans pay money to see the best product possible. The fans pay these guys salaries.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
And they don't want to see a partially baked product.
Yeah. There's no way that you could get anything done as far because like everybody is picking the Nets to at least get to the championship.
Exactly.
A lot of them are picking them to win the championship.
Yes.
You won't have any chemistry if you're only playing half the season.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Now, not only are we saying half the regular season, so now when you get to the playoffs, you can't play the home games. So what if there's a game 7 in Brooklyn?
Yeah. What if you get to the finals and the middle 3 games are in your own city, but you can't play?
Right.
Yeah. What is your team gonna do? It never made sense from the beginning. It just didn't make sense. You might end up being in a battle in the 3-6 or the 4-5, and your team has to pretty much. They could be eliminated because of you. Because now you're another James Harden hamstring away from not being able to survive the second round.
Again.
And they shouldn't have to put up with that. You got Cam Thomas there. He was looking sharp against the Sixers.
Yeah.
He's a very confident offensive player that can put the ball on the floor and score off the dribble.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, let that guy grow. Because if you ask me, Kyrie Irving, he's an impact player, but he's not a high impact player.
Mm-hmm.
He puts up numbers, but they never directly translate into victories.
Right.
Anytime he's been the lone alpha scorer on a team, they've been losing lottery teams. They're at the bottom of the NBA.
That's a fact.
And that's it. That's all it is. He's no different from a Kevin Love in that respect or other guys. He's not a franchise carrier. He had all the talent in the world in Boston. It became a cancer in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. Enough is enough. Now, if Kyrie was a model citizen up until this year and did that, I'd say, all right,
cut him some slack.
Cut him some slack. But this is 4 years in a row. This is Mr. I'm an artist. I shouldn't be bound by contracts. No one can tell me what to do because I'm a free spirit. Well, go be free. Retire. We thought he was going to retire for the last year anyway.
Yeah.
I have been saying he's done playing basketball, and people are teasing themselves and driving themselves crazy, hoping that he changes his mind.
Yeah, I don't think he's changing his mind. Did you also see today that the Nets owner and GM said they're not going to give him a contract extension?
Yeah, they're not giving him a contract extension, and no other team would either. He's already threatening to retire, so he's making himself immovable.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he's got 1 year left. They'll pay him that 1 year, and he'll walk away from the game, and the NBA will never look his way again. And I'm pretty sure he's not going to look the NBA's way because he just wants his money. He wants it his way.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think it might get nasty depending on how the season plays out.
Yeah, I think this on until he changes his mind, changes his stance on the vaccine, which I don't think he is.
No,
I think it's just gonna drag out and it's just gonna get ugly.
And this goes to my second point. Kyrie, LeBron is a terrible team and I can't stand him. Then he goes to Boston, destroys Boston, and says, yeah, I understand what LeBron was saying now. How do you understand? You're the problem.
Mm-hmm.
How do you understand? Those guys in Boston did just fine without you. They've had more success since you left. Everyone's gotten better individually. You were horrible.
They got to the Eastern Conference Finals when he got hurt.
Yes. And he says he understood LeBron. But this is like Kyrie Irving is full of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I've been wanting people to see for the longest. There's always going to be something, even if there's nothing, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'm done with people with this vaccine stuff. I refuse to argue anymore about whether or not you should take it. My thing is deal with the consequences of not taking it. It's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a job and an obligation, and that's how you feed yourself and your family, you got to do what you got to do. And whatever happened to being obligated to your teammates, where he's leaving Kevin Durant and James Harden out to dry in the back half of their careers, where they're still prime players and they're chasing the ring.
That's gonna run KD out of Brooklyn.
It might run KD out of Brooklyn at the end of this season.
Yeah,
and that's what GM Sean Marks, I applaud him. He's an 11-year player, and now he's a GM. He understands what it takes. Steve Nash is feckless. He couldn't do anything about it. He just says, well, it's a sound decision, and I understand. Steve Nash, you don't deserve to be a coach, first of all, because it should have never gone this far with you.
Right.
You shouldn't have been on the fence because you have men to lead.
Mm-hmm.
You have a tribe to keep together. You have a locker room to run.
Yeah, I think like the organization did the right thing because you have to do it, especially with one of the star players, because you're
Yeah.
gonna have other guys looking.
Exactly.
Like, let's see how they treat this situation, and if it goes his way, maybe I'll do it.
You have two extremes on that team. You have really aged veterans and really young guys.
There's no middle.
There's no middle ground. There's no, they haven't developed anybody. Everyone else has been brought in. You got DeAndre Jordan, you got Aldridge, you got Blake Griffin.
DeAndre Jordan's gone.
Oh, Jordan's gone. Well, you got Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap.
That's what I'm thinking. It's Millsap, Aldridge, Durant, and Harden, and Blake Griffin. And then you got a bunch of kids that are learning NBA basketball, learning how to play the game.
Right. The only homegrown talent they got is Joe Harris.
Joe Harris. That's it. That's it. And he's fairly young.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. You have to set a standard in a culture, right? And you want a clear leadership. Kyrie has been there the longer than the other two star players, but the other two star guys are proven leaders.
Yeah.
Proven all-NBA players, high-impact players. James Harden was the centerpiece, Western Conference Finals. Kevin Durant, we already know what he is. Maybe the third greatest scorer of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Pure scorer. He might be the best pure scoring big man of all time, if you want to consider him a big man.
Yeah, he's 7 foot.
Yeah, he's 7 feet tall. He's a big man. Whatever happened to being obligated to your team, being in the trenches with your guys, you can't call yourself a competitor or a team player to me in a team sport, and you conduct yourself like this.
Yeah, you're being selfish.
You're chasing championships in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very expensive team. And it's another long line and a guy who was extremely fortunate now to have played with LeBron.
The way he's treating this, Brooklyn's window of winning the championship is this season, and after that, it's over.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, Kyrie, KD, and Harden are all on their last year of their deals.
They are.
Man.
Then
you got Aldridge for 1 year, Blake for 1 year, Patty Mills for 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, they got Patty Mills there. Yeah.
So all of your like your main rotation guys are on 1 year deals pretty much.
And James Harden said he's never gone through free agency. He would like to go out there and bid against the market. If I'm James Harden, I want to too. Pick where I want to go.
Yeah, I think James Harden is monitoring this Ben Simmons situation. I know we're gonna touch on him later.
Yeah,
but I think if Ben gets out of Philly and Harden tests free agency, I think he'll wind up in Philly.
I actually agree with that. I really do think that that's a possibility, and because it's the perfect basketball fit. Yeah. Even if out of some miraculous circumstance Ben stays, right? Then you'd have Ben, Harden, and Embiid, and they pretty much steamroll, barnstorm their way to the NBA Finals and win a championship. There's no stopping that. Mm-hmm. So I could actually see that. But I'm just glad that the Nets took a stand. They just took a stand, and on to another team that took a stand. Well, first of all, I just want to tell people, you're not cut from the same cloth and you don't think the same way. You're not built like me. If you think that what Kyrie is doing is adult behavior, if you think that's honorable, if you think that's how teammates should respond, if you think that's how men should respond in a group of men, we're not the same. We're not the same because that's never been what sports has been about.
No.
In the NFL, that would not be a thing. That would not be a thing. Those men actually apply pressure in those locker rooms.
Yeah, the veterans in football, the veterans really lead.
Exactly. You think a Kyrie Irving personality is going to exist with Tom Brady? Look at Antonio Brown, a good soldier when he gets around Brady. Gronk, good soldier, gets around. Guys fall in line.
I know you could attest to that back in Buffalo days. Like there was no divas because Bruce Smith wasn't having it.
No. Certain guys were having it, but also the organization was in lockstep. The coach demanded, accountability from everybody. And then we had a GM, Bill Polian, that demanded that kind of stuff. And they really built that team on character. That's the problem with like the NBA, I think, with a lot of organizations. Teams get caught up on guys and they get stuck with these contracts with low character guys. Kyrie is a low character guy.
Yeah.
He's all the talent in the world, man.
He's a me guy.
Yeah, and this is why I said I'm not holding back. Because this is what it is. And on this next topic, now we're moving on.
Your topic.
Yes. The Sixers played the Nets the other night in Philly, preseason. Allegedly, the story goes, Ben Simmons shows up at the back door and they call Elton Brand and let him know Ben Simmons is downstairs and would like to get into the building after tip off.
Oh man.
Ben Simmons is at the back door. Elton Brand said, he's where? They said, yeah, he's outside trying to get in the building. This is as Doc Rivers is reportedly negotiating how Ben is going to return to the Sixers and in what capacity and how it's going to go down. I'm going to ask you for what do you think transpired there? For everyone to be surprised that Ben showed up in Philly.
Yeah, I might. If I was Elton Brand, I might have been like, what are you doing here? Like, what do you want?
Yeah. The story just seems to cut off
Yeah.
after that. But they said they let him in because he had to take his COVID test.
Right.
And now he entered the COVID protocol where you got to go 5 days of negative and testing, and then you can be allowed to be around your team.
It's a weird situation.
It is, because did Rich Paul know?
I don't know.
If he was in constant communication,
He had to know.
did he?
If you're in constant communications with
With Doc Rivers?
Yeah, I thought you meant with Ben Simmons.
No,
it's weird if to catch everybody off guard like that. Like,
yeah,
nobody had to know anything.
because if you're talking to Doc Rivers, you're presumably talking to Elton Brand about what's going to happen, because that's the GM and he really is in control, like general manager. You know, like the general GM of McDonald's. Like, yeah, I'm in control of who comes and goes.
Yeah, I need to know everybody. I need to know all of their movements.
Yes, right. All the moving parts. I'm responsible for this whole thing.
I think Ben, it started to really get to Ben that I'm not getting these game checks, even though it's preseason. I'm not. That's 360K a day.
That definitely is.
That he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Like once your bank account starts getting light, like that's when you got to look in the mirror. Like,
listen, and I think it was $1 million that he was trying to avoid losing.
Yes.
So now we know the money is becoming an issue.
Yes.
Some people are saying like, oh well, we don't know if it's. Listen, the money is becoming an issue. Ben doesn't. Look, I'm not here to count checks. He has more money than me, whatever. All the low-hanging fruit, we don't care. Yeah. Ben's rich, we're not, right? But he's not LeBron. He doesn't have a sneaker that we're buying. He doesn't have a movie deal, an album coming out, or nothing. You know, my dad said he showed up like his mom told him to get his ass to work. Yeah, that's straight up. Like my dad used to tell us, get your ass to work.
Yeah.
You know, you want Tim's, you go buy him. You know, like, hey, the clock's ticking. You know, your life is on the line.
Yes.
You know, and that's how he showed up. But that's the thing. And this goes out once again. I'm not holding back. A lot of people on social media, oh, Chris, you're crazy. Ben's going to have his way. Listen, man. Money is everything when you play for money. This isn't a free basketball game where they pay you arbitrarily. Money is the motivator.
Yes.
That's why you sign the max deal over a smaller deal.
That's why people leave small market teams
and go to big markets.
Get the max deal from a big market team.
This is why Ben wants to go out to LA and be a star, because he wants money. Well, he's losing it. And people said, oh, well, the Sixers don't have leverage. Look at them. They're going to fail. Ha, ha, ha. Ben caved.
He definitely caved.
And we don't even know if Rich Paul knows about it.
Right.
He just shows up at the back door of this arena because they withheld $8.2 million, and he's now been fined over $1 million for each games, and it comes out of the 8.2, so it's not recoupable. So now he's $1 million short of money, and if he's been spending money, listen, man, he's young.
If you spend the money and to keep up with your lifestyle, and you're losing this money per day, so that means you're spending money and then nothing coming in.
Nope,
there's nothing coming in.
Nope.
People like them guys, like they sign that deal and then they get big headed.
Yeah,
and they just think, I'm at the top of the world because I got this, I got that. Like at the end of the day, you still have a boss.
You have everybody answers to somebody.
Yes,
even the president.
You still have a boss.
Even the president.
And like this is making, like, he just think the Sixers see this. Every GM, every owner sees what's going on. So do you think like nobody's gonna want you? The same thing with the Kyrie Irving situation. Nobody's gonna want you. So like with Kyrie, he's threatening to retire. All right, cool. With Ben, like I know you don't want to be in Philly. The Sixers are asking for a lot, which they should.
Yeah.
No team wants to match that price. So you're in limbo because it's like we're asking too much. Nobody wants to pay that price, so you're gonna be here.
That's a fact.
Like I've been like we spoke on it a few times. Like just show up.
All you got to do is show up.
Say you got a hamstring injury. Say your back hurt.
I think it's too late to fake the injury now because now you got to take a physical.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I saw a story that was saying that he was going to play that injury card.
I saw a story, and of course, Brian Windhorst, Clutch Sports, and LeBron's embedded reporter, the lead reporter of Clutch Sports in Canton or Akron, Ohio. You know, of course, he said that's a card Ben could still play. But at the end of the day, he caved in. The Sixers are winning the battle right now. And honestly, the longer he stays off the court, the longer it's going to take for them to trade him.
Yeah.
Ben would be gone in a week or two if he shows up to the first 3 games and just shoots mid-range jumpers.
Yeah.
Shoot 15-footers. And we'll have you out of here in no time.
Yeah, you have your wish.
Bags packed, baby. Yes. 4 picks and 3 players from somebody.
Yes, we'll send you to the Australian Kangaroos.
Exactly. Or, hey, listen, the Orlando Magic would love to have you. You'll be at the bottom of the league, but you said anywhere but here. So that's what we want, anywhere but here, because we want those draft picks to be high and heavy. Because then we're going to flip those and go get our man.
Yep.
So that's the whole thing. Just show up. You say you want this, but honestly, I don't see this playing out really well for him, and not at least not in the short term.
No,
because wherever he goes, it's going to take them 2 to 3 years to be mildly competitive.
Yeah, to be a fringe playoff team,
right?
Especially if he goes to the West. Like if he goes to a lower tier team in the West, I don't think he's ever gonna be in the playoffs. But like with this situation, like the leverage needle is in Philly side. Like he lost all his leverage.
The leverage has always been with the team that still has 4 years left to pay you.
Yes.
The leverage, because you can't do anything in the NBA unless they sign off on allowing you to do something here or elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. You're bound to a contract.
I got to trade you or I got to buy you out.
Exactly.
And I'm not doing either.
Nobody's giving you 60% of that the remainder of that contract in a lump sum.
And if I offer you a buyout, you're not giving me money back.
No.
So
exactly. Exactly. So this is where another thing. I'm happy. Some people come at me like I'm the establishment, like, oh, Chris, you're not supporting players, you're not supporting black players, and I get it all.
Yeah, I hate when they pull that.
I get it all. Yeah, like I'm the establishment, like I represent corporate America. No, I represent grown men being held accountable. Shoot a jump shot, get paid. That's all they're asking you to do.
That's it.
Charles Barkley said it best. We're not asking you to go cut people's grass and carry people's groceries. We're asking you to shoot a basketball. Right. That's all we're asking you to do. And for the people that pay you, and that's another thing. What about the guys in that locker room that do support you? There's people in that locker room that you say are your friends. These guys that are your friends, you think sitting out is going to make that team worse. The Sixers are still going to win 50-plus games.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's still going to happen because you are not the cornerstone of the franchise.
They're still going to be a top 3 team in the East.
Yeah.
They're still going to get to the second round.
Talk about it.
Like maybe to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like it's
and that's where your jump shot could take us to the finals. But you don't want to do that here. So now to get somewhere else, you're going to have to show up and do it.
Like it's crazy when you're making not even just Ben Simmons, any star player that's making max dollars, that's a guard or small forward, whatever. You're getting paid all that money. Your job is to play basketball. So how can't you work on your craft?
You have a green light because you're a number 1 overall pick and you're a max player that doesn't suck. So they're going to keep paying you. So it's not like if you stink at shooting and it never develops, you're never going to get compensated fairly for your services. You could still be a great defender, a great passer, a great rebounder who just can't shoot.
Right.
But they're still going to pay you because you're still an all-star level player. But you have a green light to fail and then to succeed, like Giannis. like Giannis.
Giannis doesn't have a jump. Giannis and Ben Simmons has the same jump shot,
Yes,
but Giannis will shoot it.
that's it. That's it. That's it. But I've never seen like it just doesn't make sense. And Max Kellerman put it the best, right? This is psychotic. Like something's wrong with him.
It really is.
Like this is sports psychologist. This is Brendan Fraser in The Scout. So Steve Nebraska needs to go see a therapist before he pitches in the World Series.
And this is where I mean, and we touched on this before. Ben Simmons camp.
Yeah.
He needs that one person at his camp to be like, no, this is what you should do.
He needs to call his the head of the agency that plays for the Los Angeles Lakers,
Yeah.
LeBron James. I'm wondering, like, who's advising this man? This is why I think we're gonna miss Kobe Bryant more than ever because he sat there and said it, Ben. You don't want to look back at the end of your career and say, I wish I had worked on my jump shot. He's like, he's one jump shot away from dominating the league. This is Kobe said this, like right before he left us.
Right.
He sat there and told you, do it now. He said, come see me. Did you take advantage? Probably not.
No.
But you got LeBron there. It just, I don't understand, man. Clutch Sports, that's why I tell people, for any future athletes, any future stars, take a long look at what's happening here.
Mhm.
That they don't even have, like they can't even step in front of this.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? It's just wild. And for Ben, I think it looks like he did this unilaterally. Like he just said, look, I'm going to show up to Philly because I'm tired. You know, I understand we're supposed to hold down and hold the line, and we threatened to give up 35 mil, but I can't take it no more, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right? I'm eating cheeseburgers. It's not what I do. I'm supposed to be at Nobu right now.
Ben. I don't this. If I was in Ben's camp, like I would just be that guy and be like, man, like you need to report.
My pops had a good question. Do you think this is the first time the organization is finally creating standards for him?
That's a good question. I think so.
I think so too. I've always said that Brett Brown was a clown and he was a babysitter. Brett Brown ran an NBA daycare center. He treated Joel Embiid like he was, a Seabear and Jamal. Like, they just, it was a clown show. It was Fantastic Max and AB, the toys he used to ride around with. And he used to just let them do whatever they want. The offense was freewheeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Ben got worse, he made Embiid change his game.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the other way around. No one stepped up to say anything. And the ownership also, I blame Sixers ownership because their majority owner looks like he's never involved. Right. Josh Harris, he just kind of hands off until recently.
Yeah.
Until now, the bottom line is being affected and they're heavily invested now. Because it was easy when they were tanking and Embiid and Simmons were on rookie deals because he wasn't paying that much.
Right.
But now that, we're in luxury tax, what's going on?
Right, we're a championship team now.
I'm bringing in Daryl Morey and Doc Rivers, and we're holding the line against this. You're not going to abuse this. We took care of you, and I'm a billionaire, and I own soccer teams in Premier League and the New Jersey Devils. So no, you don't do this here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ben. Yeah, it's about time they held him accountable for his actions.
And I honestly think if he is going to see the court, that's pretty much what it's going to be. He's going to have to, they're probably telling him, listen, we'll get you out of here, but you're going to have to shoot.
Yeah.
Or we'll just sit you out.
Yeah, we're going to put you on this court. You're auditioning for teams.
That's what it is.
Show them teams that you can do this, and we'll get you what you want.
Once again, people are like, oh, Chris, you think Ben's going to come back and play, and you think you think it's a good thing. First of all, I think there's a less than 30% chance that Ben is with us beyond December 15th.
I think that locker room is going to be muddy.
It is going to be muddy if he stays. But if he shows up and he starts playing hard and they're winning games, winning cures all.
If you was on the Sixers, you was in that locker room and Ben walked in, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, let's see what he's going to do. Because I think everybody on this team understands what they have to do. There's enough veterans here that are professionals, and they got mature young guys like Tyrese Maxey or Matisse Thybulle. But I also think they're looking at Embiid and Tobias and Danny Green like, all right, they're going to follow their lead. Like, I guess the deeper question is, who am I on the team?
Right.
Am I Tyrese Maxey or one of the young guys? Am I Paul Reed?
if
Am I
you're
Shake Milton?
if you're established veteran.
If I'm an established veteran, it's like, look, man, what are you here to do? Like, if I'm in beat, let's sit him down as a team and say, look, what are you coming here to do?
Yeah, we got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah. Is this a temporary thing? Because regardless of that, we got money to make. We got kids. We got mouths to feed. We need you to just do what you got to do for as long as you're here. Simple as that. This ain't got to be fake. It ain't got to be nothing. Since it's business.
Yeah, me if I'm an established veteran on a Sixers team and he walk in like you said, I'm gonna sit him down and say like, what do you like? What is this?
Right.
Because if you're not all in, then you need to just go home until we find something to do with you. Because I'll rather just go with this season with these guys that's in here.
The last thing we need is some dogging it on the court.
Right.
And that's what I would be concerned with. He would get a good talking to from me because you've already thrown us under the bus.
Right.
You've already said, well, you're done with us. If I'm Embiid, look, I don't got to lie to you no more.
Right.
You need to show up here and shoot your jump shot.
Yeah.
Embiid has been holding him accountable. Now he said, well, now that we know the fake shit's out the window and that doesn't work, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to treat you like a man.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Because I don't think nobody in Ben Simmons' corner treats him like that.
No. And if I'm Danny Green, I'm talking to him like that. If I'm Tobias Harris, I'm talking to him like that. If I'm Seth Curry, I'm talking to him like that.
Yeah.
That's what's going down. If I'm George Niang, I'm like, look, man, I got a career I got to think about too. I've been around a while. I know how to ball. What's up?
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is say, look, until you get out of here, don't step foot on that court. But I think they don't have to worry about that because if Ben goes out there and dogs it, he's not James Harden.
Right.
You can't turn it on and off. James Harden was dogging it and scoring 38 and giving out 9 and then just, taking silly fouls and getting texts and stuff like that. But he was still putting on a show. Ben, you don't have that. You're not that great. You're a good NBA player. That's it. But you have a glaring flaw. And
in the world seen it firsthand.
I think if Ben shows up and does that, he drives his value down. Mm-hmm. And as simple as that. And he stays longer. So I just think all the cards are in play for him to show up, do what he needs to do, and he'll be gone in a month and a half. Because I'm telling you now, there's going to be a team like Portland. There's going to be somebody in the East. They're going to start off 8-9 games under 500. Unfortunately, somebody's going to have a major injury, and he might go somewhere kind of decent. Yeah. But I think more than likely he's going to end up on a bottom feeder team, and we're going to need all of their draft picks so we can package up other things and send it and go get the guy we really want.
Right.
That's really what's going to happen. Because if you're Portland, you're like, all right, if I'm going to give up Dame, I need the next generation superstar for the next 3 years. Right. I need to go to the process immediately.
Now.
Yeah. I'm not waiting a year to be a bum. I need 2 top 5 picks.
Right.
Like ours and another team. So I think that's going to be the thing. So this is one of the wildest stories, I think.
I'm pretty sure we're going to touch on it in future shows.
Next week. The season starts next week. So in the next 2 weeks, we'll be touching on this one. Any other NBA news you want to touch on? I don't think anything else happened. The Lakers, LeBron is telling people it's going to take a while for them to come together. I just hope that the Walgreens near Staples Center has a lot of icy hot. Epsom salt. I hope they got bags of ice, like the old school ones, the clear ones that we used to have in high school. Mm-hmm. I hope they got all of the old, some witch hazel, all of that. They need everything.
Yeah, people need to realize. I know it's only preseason, but the Lakers have a Russell Westbrook problem already.
Yes.
So,
did you check out some of that game against the Warriors?
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's going to be comfortable with LeBron having the ball in his hand.
And LeBron looks like he's not comfortable with Westbrook having the ball in his hands. They had 11 turnovers between the both of them.
And that's going to be a common theme. And I think as teams begin to up the defensive pressure against them, Westbrook's going to have to give that ball up. Mm-hmm. And that's where he's just NBA junk, man.
They got manhandled without Draymond, Clay, and Steph last night.
Yeah. Yeah. And for them to be successful, Anthony Davis is the youngest, most talented guy on the team. He's going to have to play 72 games, at least. How over under Anthony Davis playing 65 games this year out of 82?
I think this might be at 65.
I think it's going to be less than 65.
I think it's a push.
I think it's going to be less than 65. I think they 4 or 5 team, just with LeBron, and just because those guys know what to do against certain nights,
Yeah.
they'll get over on all very young teams and a few middle tier teams. Like they'll sweep the Pacers, they'll sweep teams like Charlotte.
Mhm.
They'll get over on some teams.
Yeah.
They'll pull something out against Miami, maybe split with them, or they'll definitely wash Orlando, Washington. There's enough wins to pull together,
Yeah.
and all they got to do is split with half of the teams that are in the playoffs, and they'll be right in the middle.
Yeah, I think they're like a 4 or 5 seed.
Yeah, the math says that the Lakers won't be out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they'll be somewhere in the picture.
Yeah.
My thing is, who's going to be healthy and available for these 82 games? Because you got Dwight Howard, you got DeAndre Jordan, you got Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
You have Russell Westbrook, LeBron James,
Trevor
Ariza. This is the oldest team in NBA history. They said this, and I'm not. This is not hyperbole. It's literally the oldest team ever assembled.
The youngest guys they got on the team is AD and
Horton Tucker
and Kendrick Nunn.
Oh man. Didn't they pick up
They got Rondo
and Malik Monk? Man, listen. They just picked up a team full of disappointments. And
Wayne Ellington,
Kim
Bazemore.
I just wonder who's going to get the blame. Who are they going to start pointing the finger at if this thing goes south?
They're going to blame
Wayne Ellington,
Bazemore. They're going to blame them guys because they're going to say, "Oh, we brought you guys in to be shooters and y'all not hitting." So they're going to blame. They're going to get the blame.
On to the second most entertaining heavyweight fight of the weekend. The first being Buffalo and Kansas City. We'll touch on that. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3. Was this the fight of the year?
So far, yes. Only because we really haven't had any big fights.
That is true.
So right now, it's up there for fight of the year.
Yeah.
Until we see more.
Deontay Wilder got knocked out in the 11th round. He knocked Fury down twice early in the fight, but he ultimately got knocked down 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, I'm trying to figure out how to approach this, right? Because I know my thoughts, but I just don't want to give them away. Is Tyson Fury, did he prove himself as the number 1 heavyweight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's clearly the number 1 heavyweight.
Where do you rank Deontay Wilder in the heavyweight division?
3rd.
You rank him 3rd?
Yeah.
Behind Fury and
Alexander Usyk.
So Usyk, because he beat Anthony Joshua so soundly,
yeah,
you're gonna put Deontay Wilder behind him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like a pure boxer. He could be like he boxed Anthony Joshua's face off.
Okay. I have a problem with that.
Okay.
And it's because Deontay Wilder has only lost to Tyson Fury.
Right.
And he hasn't lost to anyone else. He hasn't fought Usyk, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. But he's beaten everybody else except for Anthony Joshua, right? He's run through the entire division. All of the common fighters between Joshua, he himself, and Fury, he's beat them all.
No, they Joshua, the top 3 guys, Joshua, Wilder, and Fury.
All of the fighters that all 3 of them fought,
they really
Wilder beat them.
They really don't have common opponents.
I thought Ortiz.
No,
they dodged Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Fury ducked Ortiz. Yes,
and Joshua ducked Ortiz.
But see, Wilder's the only one that hasn't ducked anyone.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying.
And then
he's beaten everybody else available.
And then the other top heavyweights are all like in that England, Germany area.
Yeah.
And Wilder has never fought any of them, but the other 2 guys have.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So they have fighters that he hasn't fought, and Wilder has Ortiz that they didn't fight.
Gotcha. In this fight, what do you think was the reason why Wilder lost the way he did?
Because he went back to the old Deontay Wilder.
I thought he started the fight magnificently.
He started it out good, shooting a jab,
He was killing him with that jab.
Right.
I felt like in the first 3 rounds, Tyson Fury was very unsure of how this thing was going to turn out.
Mm-hmm. In that 3rd round, when Wilder got dropped,
Yeah,
the game plan was over.
it was over. It was over. But then but see, that's what's crazy. He shows up in the 4th round and puts Fury down twice.
Now
and couldn't finish him. But he used all his energy finishing him.
There was a little bit of a controversy in that 4th round. I'm not gonna say that was the reason that Fury won.
Yeah,
because clearly he beat him.
Yeah,
I think if they fought 10 times, I don't think Wilder wins
ever. Okay, yeah.
But the controversy was the second knockdown that he dropped Fury.
Yes.
Fury was down on the canvas for like 13 seconds. Like I counted.
I would agree. But it seems like this happens down in these fights. This happened the first fight.
Right.
I feel like boxing doesn't want Wilder there. But that we're going to stay away from conspiracy theories and talk about. All right. But yes, I counted 12-ish seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like, here we go again.
Right.
Like these refs seem to have a hard time counting.
Like I get once you drop your opponent, you have to go to the neutral corner.
Yeah.
So the ref counted, turned to look at Wilder, stopped his count, had him go over here. So now the ref's job is once you stop your count and you send a fighter to it, you directed the fighter, there's a judge on the outside of the ring. You have to find that judge, and that judge is supposed to keep your count while you're doing this.
Yeah.
So you have to look at him and then pick up where he's at instead of picking up where you left off at.
Right.
I think that ref picked up where he left off at. And then that gave Fury time to get up and get the cobwebs out.
This is what happened in the first fight. I consider Wilder beating him once.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a knockout, but even though they let Fury get up, you can't go down twice against the champ and not send him down once and win the fight.
Right.
Never in the history of boxing. There would have been a riot 30 years ago over that decision.
Yes.
They would have burned Madison Square Garden down.
Yes.
They would have burned MGM down, Trump Plaza, wherever they used to
Caesars.
fight. Caesars. Zaire.
Mandalay Bay.
Yeah,
everywhere.
it's going down. So, but I feel like boxing, the commissions, Deontay Wilder's not the fighter that they want to represent heavyweight boxing.
Right.
But outside of that, I think what disappointed me, and I was talking to my brother about it directly after the fight, Deontay Wilder is the most fatigued athlete I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's Jordan Flu Game times 1,000.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like this.
So he gets so gassed so quick.
I mean, if you watch old footage of Jim Brown, he'll get up after he trucks like 10 guys really slow and he'll look tired, right? Deontay Wilder looks 900 times more tired than that. He looks like the guy's got his mouth open, his shoulders are slumped, his knees are bent, his arms are at his side. What is up? Does this guy condition?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of conditioning coach he has. I don't know what kind of conditioning they do, but it's terrible.
I mean, he came in there looking like a Greek statue. My man looked like the strongest black person that ever lived.
Yeah,
he was chiseled.
It looks like he does all weightlifting and it doesn't do no treadmill work, no road work. He doesn't get in any. He doesn't get his stamina up.
No, not at all. And I don't think it's just lung stamina and circulation. I think it's muscle stamina because his arms get tired.
He trains. This just me like not knowing.
Not knowing what goes on.
I think he trains for a 3-round fight.
I think so too.
I think
it looks like it.
I think he trains to be like, I'm gonna get him out of here within the first 3 rounds.
Because after round 4, he was so gassed, and he still threw some good shots, and this is why he needs conditioning, because he's a low IQ fighter.
Yes.
When he's in trouble, all he knows how to do is take a punch and not die.
That's what when we talked about boxing before.
Yeah.
When And when I talk to people on social media or whatever,
I'm tired of he doesn't have combinations
no,
in the skill
I
thing.
wasn't.
I'm talking about
I wasn't.
savvy.
I'm not even talking about that. When they
Yeah.
were saying, "Oh, he's changing his style,"
Yeah.
and then I said, I don't care how much style he changed. If he gets hit, anybody get hit, you're gonna lose that game plan and go back to what you know.
Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the
Right.
face. Yeah.
So when he hit the canvas in the third round, he went back to what he know. I went down already, so now I got to get him out because I'm already down a 10-8 round. So if it goes to the cards, I'm losing.
Yeah.
So I gotta get him out. And I mean, he couldn't finish the deal. But not to take anything away from the fight, it was a great fight.
It was.
It was a great fight.
It really was. I thought it was wildly entertaining, and I thought Wilder had his chance in those middle rounds to get him out of there.
Yeah,
because he put Fury in trouble again after he knocked him down twice.
Mm-hmm.
But he kept Fury. He rewound to the second fight when Fury kept ducking that right hand because he was timing everything.
And he had no answer for it.
No answer. But I did have an issue, right? Because it wasn't, as far as pure boxing is concerned, it wasn't a pretty fight at all. I don't think I was impressed by Tyson Fury at all because of Wilder's just lack of conditioning and lack of like ring savvy and IQ. But also the refs, they kind of just let. I've never seen so many headlocks in a boxing match before. He put Wilder in about 42 headlocks and was just jumping on his back and landing on him. There was one where Fury was looking for a knockdown. And he literally just jumped on Wilder because he had a 45, 50-pound advantage after rehydration.
Yeah, well, Fury said that was going to be his game plan. I'm just going to lean on him.
I mean, leaning on him and then putting him in a headlock is two different things.
He just like, I'm just going to throw my body on him to tire him out.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm gonna make him fight his way to get me off of him.
And I assume that Fury put on that extra weight for that. But there was also zero conditioning because his arms were tired for the first time in his career. We've seen Fury tired, but he still had something left in that right hand. He was throwing that right hand and connecting late in that fight, and it was nothing left in those gloves.
Right.
And it looked like something was wrong with his glove or something. He kept like adjusting it and then throwing the punch. I've never seen anything like that. And I love Fury.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Wilder. I'm sorry. I love Wilder. But he was like, his glove was messed up. It's just, I've never seen somebody more unprepared to fight a fight than that.
So where would you rank that as like your top trilogies?
Top trilogies?
Is it top 5?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not, man. I don't know if it's top 5 just because where the heavyweight division is. Just because of the controversy around the first one. I still think the first one was just a highway robbery, and I thought it set up the second fight. The second fight was a joke.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the second fight doesn't count. That's why it could never be. I don't even think it's a top 10 trilogy, honestly. But I think in recent memory, it's one of the bigger trilogies because heavyweight boxing will always be more entertaining to me than, middleweight. High-level heavyweight boxing.
I think even though Wilder lost, the way he looked like a warrior, lasting all the way to 11, even though he was like gassed,
he definitely has the respect.
I think he got a lot of people's respect, and that in the loss, that's going to keep his name relevant,
keep his name looking good.
Yeah,
and there's no excuses like, my knight's armor that I wore to the ring, my Shao Kahn spikes. And all of this, like, come on, dog. I didn't want to hear it. I thought he should have shook Fury's hand, but I get it, man. It's a combat sport,
right?
That's unsportsmanlike if you're playing basketball, football, or baseball. Like, but in the combat sport, if you don't want to shake hands, that's cool. You just tried to kill me.
Right.
My eardrum is bleeding. I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm not feeling you. I might call you later, but right now,
give me a couple days.
My wife was here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My kids. My kids watch this.
They might have been watching on TV.
Exactly. Right? Come on, man. My mama, she saw this. That's where I just felt like I hope that whoever Fury fights, we get a good boxing match. I don't want to see the leaning and things like that.
I don't know who's gonna fight now because
Joshua has a rematch.
Joshua has the rematch
against Usyk.
I don't want to see him and Wilder again.
No, I don't want to see Fury and Wilder again. I'm over it.
I don't know what else.
As much as I'm not a Fury fan, I'm over it.
Yeah, I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Maybe Ortiz.
If Fury takes that fight, that could be a
Yeah.
good one. I'll watch that. I'm
Yeah.
not going to pay for it.
Right.
Yeah, but I'll watch it. I didn't pay for the fight this weekend anyway. I stood outside the bar and watched it on the patio.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw it.
yeah.
saw
I
you.
bought some food from the corner store and then just stood right
Oh,
outside and watched it.
You bought a
I went right to Kroger. No, I went to Kroger and got Pringles.
Oh, okay.
In a Powerade and a Monster, and I was just out there chilling with people. We were all standing on the sidewalk.
Free
They-
fight.
Yeah, free fight, man. They got
Yeah.
900 TVs on the patio.
Yeah.
Shout out to Twin Peaks and Buckhead, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I look, man. I went over there after the concert, but I mean, it's just I'm done betting on Deontay Wilder.
Yes.
You had a good run while it lasted. No one, and I'm tired of people saying he can't fight. You don't get to 37, 30, and 8-0 and not being able to fight.
Right.
He has a style that he's a knockout puncher
Yeah.
from 1906. This is probably how they used to fight when they used to fight for jobs and labor unions at the beginning of bare knuckle boxing when they used to go 142 rounds.
Yeah, you had guys working at the steel mill, and then when they get off work, they go box.
Yeah.
And then they go back to work.
Big Bob Thompson,
Yeah.
who's working on the assembly line.
That's it.
Then he got that one punch you better stay away from,
Uh-huh.
or you're not gonna see your kids.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the boxing, the Fury, Wilder. I don't want to see it again. Let's see what else we got. And then now to this one. I'm not holding back. It's the last story. Well, no, it's not the last story, but we're going straight in the NFL. Your thoughts on the John Gruden situation. For anybody that may not have heard, John Gruden had to step down as a Raiders coach because over the weekend, emails were found from 2011 between him and Washington football team GM Bruce Allen, calling Morris Smith, saying he had big Michelin lips and that he was an idiot. Then more emails came out. He was calling Roger Goodell a homophobic slur. He was using homophobic slurs, referring to Michael Sam and chastising Jeff Fisher and saying that the NFL pressured him into drafting gays, right? And these were all private emails that were between him while he was working at ESPN to the then Washington football team GM Bruce Allen over a period of 6 or 7 years. But most of the emails were in 2011.
Mhm.
I think the Michael Sam ones were like 2014, 2015 when he was drafted out of Missouri. Gruden had to step down yesterday. Really didn't offer an explanation. What are your thoughts on the John Gruden situation?
It's kind of tricky because he wasn't even
An employee?
an employee of the NFL
Nope.
back then.
Nope.
So to get now, I'm not condoning anything you said.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm not condoning anything you said.
It's street talk.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to fire someone or part ways with someone when you wasn't even a part of the NFL 10 years ago. That's like you getting hired at a company and then they go through your Instagram and see something 10 years ago and they be like, you know what, Chris, we're just gonna part ways. Like this had nothing to do with you.
Right.
I'm pretty sure everybody somewhere got some crazy emails in they
Listen, my social media get me canned tomorrow from 10 years ago.
like, we're not even gonna talk about social media.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. It's 10 years ago. I like people want me to care about what this man said in a private email to another guy 10 years ago when he was talking trash about people that other guy really wasn't even working with. He was just in the same league as him,
Mhm.
right? Like, do I think I'll say this, right? Do I think John Gruden is a racist? He said some wild stuff, the Michelin lips thing, but he did explain it. And other people say he says that. He says, oh, yeah, you're running your mouth like Michelin's when you're telling lies and you're just flapping your lips.
Mhm.
But that's wild. He gets a side eye for that. But I'm not going to sit here and say the man is a racist. He was on TV for years with Mike Tirico. He doesn't just like kill black players. Like we know there's announcers out there who go after black players.
Yes.
And we'll get to them if we want to get into it. But he's the kind of guy that's fair to everybody. He kills all quarterbacks. I've never heard him do anything like inherently racist because we've been hearing his voice for 18 years since he left the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not, I don't know if he's racist, but he did not like DeMaurice Smith. And I'll get into DeMaurice Smith in a minute. But also going after Roger Goodell, how many people like Roger Goodell?
None.
So I don't think he used a homophobic slur to go after Roger Goodell, but he was trying to insult somebody he had a serious dislike for.
Mm-hmm.
We're from the hip hop era. We're from the street.
Yes.
We've heard that word used not to disparage
as a term of endearment.
Or it's just a euphemism. I don't like him, so I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
Most people don't do it anymore,
right?
Which speaks to how old these emails are.
Mm-hmm.
We don't live in the same era that we lived in anymore.
Right.
People are more aware of what's going on now.
Yeah,
so
time has changed.
Right. If I go play an old Eminem album from 2001, it's gonna sound cringeworthy and cancel culture-ish.
Yes.
But in 2001, it was par for the course, and everybody was okay with it. John Gruden is from a different time.
Mm-hmm.
He's not from this era where people dig through emails and stuff, and you're not allowed to change that behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that email said 2020, you're wilding, and you were working for the Raiders and you were part of the NFL, you got to go.
Yes.
But what you did in your off time and the fact that you called the commissioner names when he wasn't even affiliated with you, that's fine with me. I don't care. Right. I'm not even going to say it's fine with me. I don't care.
Right.
And I don't care that you went after DeMaurice Smith. Because I didn't like DeMaurice Smith.
Right.
DeMaurice Smith was the worst NFLPA president ever.
I think there's players that don't like him.
There's players that probably say that dude got some big lips, and that's it. And it's a fact. DeMaurice Smith, I thought he was dumb, and he was really just a shill by Roger Goodell to always fold to the owners every time it was time for the players to get treated fairly.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, for all the black people. Shout out to Omar Edwards. I'm going to post this clip and send it to you since you think I'm some sort of raging Uncle Tom and I'm defending John Gruden. I'm telling you, I don't care. I'm looking dead at the camera. I'm telling you, I don't care because DeMaurice Smith is not the kind of person I'm going to defend. If somebody comes out tomorrow and says Jason Whitlock's a fat bastard and he's got big lips or whatever, I'm not defending Jason Whitlock.
Right.
Because I know what you represent.
Mm-hmm.
And if I feel like you were less than a man for those people, dumb people on the other side, I'm not going to respect you. You don't have my defense. And you were pretty stupid as the NFLPA president, which is why everyone was more than happy to get you out of there because a lot of the concessions you made allow for the Kaepernick stuff to happen, allow for Ray Rice's situation to get mismanaged. A lot of players got screwed over in their situations because of DeMaurice Smith not having the stones to stand up to NFL ownership.
Right.
People, Dave, and this is where, to people like Omar Edwards and everybody else who thinks I'm out here bugging, I'm not a sports fan that just started following sports because I wanted to do a podcast or because I got Facebook. I've been following NFL my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Dave, third grade, were looking at Sports Illustrated. We were looking at sports magazines in the back of the class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not cut like you. We're different.
Mm-hmm.
So don't you want to sit up here for the people that want to say I'm defending a bloody racist or I'm defending racism? You can kiss my ass. This is where I'm not holding back no more. You got to understand, everything doesn't deserve my defense. I'm not here for anyone's approval. DeMaurice Smith cared nothing about the black players. He was all about kneeling before Roger Goodell and not messing up the money. He was a corporate man. Everybody thought he was stupid.
The owner's punching bag.
Exactly. He was a shill. They set him up. He was a tomato can. When the doctor from Concussion, go watch the movie, was trying to talk about the concussions that guys were having and the brain injuries, DeMaurice Smith was one of the people that were denying it. A black doctor. This is what I'm saying. Go look at this guy's history before you start defending him. If you want to defend him, then you might as well defend Herman Cain, all those brothers that cooned for Trump. Defend them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because DeMaurice Smith represents that to me. He doesn't represent somebody that stood in strong character.
Yeah, like I said, I think he was just the owner's punching bag.
Yeah.
So with the Cap situation or the Ray Rice situation,
the lockout situation,
yeah,
Eric Reed, all of that.
I just think Ricky Williams. Go
Yeah,
back to that. I just think he would like he didn't have their back.
he didn't have the players back at all.
No, he would just go to the owners and they would say this, say that, say this, and then he'll just go and step in front of the camera and be like, "Well, we have to do what the owners say,"
Right.
or go back to the players and be like, "Well, you can't do this. You have to take this." Like, no,
Oh.
he didn't. That's like you having a union job and then your union rep is not fighting for you. Like, why am I even here? Why am I paying into this union when you're not standing up for me?
We're taking L's every collective bargaining.
Right.
Our contracts are getting bigger and bigger, but faker and faker.
Faker and
Less and less guaranteed money. The money that people are getting now is because they changed leadership and ownership, and every collective bargaining agreement after him has gotten better.
Yes.
Or every negotiation, every stance. Colin Kaepernick did more for the NFL Players Union in that 1 year where he sat down and sacrificed his career than DeMaurice Smith did over his entire tenure and affiliation with the NFL.
That's true.
DeMaurice Smith is a clown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I wish Gruden would have dug in and gave us an explanation because I think people would have been able to understand where he was coming from.
I think he's gonna come out and break his silence sooner or later.
It's probably going to be a tell-all interview, but I don't think he should have stepped down. And
No.
honestly, I don't think you should get fired for something that happened long before you were part of that league.
Right.
This reeks of a conspiracy. And now that this investigation was coming, it was the NFL that sent these emails over to the Raiders and said, you got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And when they saw he wasn't going to do nothing about the DeMaurice Smith thing, because we all know the Raiders, they are always at war with Roger
Yes.
with Roger Goodell and the NFL.
or whoever.
If you run the NFL, the Raiders are a rogue faction.
Yes.
They do what they want.
Yes.
They said
a motorcycle club.
Yeah, they said, oh, if we can't pin racism on you, well, we're going to release some more emails that make you look homophobic.
Yep.
And nothing was said about what he said something about Michael Sam and Jeff Fisher. And Jeff Fisher has denied that the NFL pressured him into drafting him. But Michael Sam just wasn't good enough to play.
No.
The man ran a 5-second 40 and was trying to be a middle linebacker in the NFL. It's not going to happen.
No.
He can't even play special teams.
5-second
40. I can run a 5-second 40 backwards.
Yeah, they just hyped Michael Sam up because he had a pretty decent career at Missouri.
At Missouri, yes.
And then when he came out, it's like, okay, we have to,
we have to embrace this. We're gonna try to move forward. It was good PR for the NFL,
but he was but not by any means good in the NFL. No, he just wasn't not like Carl Nassib. Like he came out,
supported him,
but he's good.
Yeah,
he has talent,
right?
And Gruden supported Nassib,
and he said, "I learned a long time ago that differences are acceptable and they make men great." He said this. Maybe he was referring to that,
right?
But no one wants to do any of the research. Everybody just wants to feel like, "Oh yeah, let's roll with the crowd on this."
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I got to look deeper into it, and not everybody deserves my defense.
Yeah, we gotta dig deep into the situation because I'm sure, like, even though Gruden didn't say anything, I'm sure there's more stuff that's going to be leaked and more articles and more write-ups are going to come out.
Well, today, Adam Schefter got tied in with Bruce Allen and these emails.
With that whole Washington situation.
Yeah, with the Washington situation. So basically, and then sending the topless photos of the Washington cheerleaders. Here's my thing. How did he get the photos? He wasn't working in Washington. His brother was. And
John Gruden knew that his brother got caught with doing that.
No. But they said John Gruden was in that email chain with the topless cheerleaders with Bruce Allen. But how is that on John Gruden? He doesn't work there,
right?
So that's basically like if the employees at McDonald's are sending me pictures of burgers on the floor and before they serve them to people, and I laugh at it and I get in trouble. I don't work at McDonald's, big dog. I don't work at McDonald's. I shouldn't go to jail for this.
No.
But this is like getting caught up in a RICO charge, and all you did was give somebody a ride to the store.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is it. This is like, hey, somebody called me on the phone and told me they're a drug dealer. Now I'm involved in a conspiracy charge.
Right.
You know, like, hey, all I did was talk to my man about the crime he did. I'm not a detective. It's not my job to report it.
Right.
You know, but that's the thing. He's getting forced out by some powerful people. I don't think Roger Goodell ever wanted Gruden back in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason Gruden took that Raiders job was because that was the one organization that would have him.
Yeah.
I almost felt like, now that I look back on it, his time in ESPN was in exile. from the NFL because it took him way too long
Yeah.
to get back in the
10
league.
years.
Yeah, it was 10 years. Yeah, but no, but more than 10, a little more than 10,
Yeah, a
right?
little more than 10.
Yeah, but I just see so much, and people like you can't have an analytical or thorough thought process around everything that you're seeing because the NFL, once again, if John Gruden has to go for something he did when he wasn't in the NFL, why is Richie Incognito still in the league?
Yeah.
He tried to shoot up a funeral home. He called the rookie from the Dolphins the N-word and harassed him and beat him up.
Yeah, got him traded.
And bought dinners with his money. He beat up on his girl, his lady. He's clearly got some other mental situations going on. He's still in the league. We all know about Roethlisberger. And I'm not saying I don't think Roethlisberger should be gone because they figured it out and they decided he should stay.
Yeah, or the Texans owner when they said the inmates we can't allow the inmates to run the asylum.
Oh yeah, the inmates to run the prison. Listen, let's talk about it.
Right.
There's so many people that are still in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They're still in the league, and this is stuff they did while they were in the league.
In power.
The Colts owner got to stay around, and he was doing drugs.
Yeah.
You know, like if the NFL is going to be the moral police, make it about everybody. Make it zero tolerance. You mess up, you're gone forever. Just like you just did John Gruden. But John Gruden was an enemy of the state. The Raiders are an enemy of the state.
Mm-hmm.
They're a rogue faction. They're that one team that just doesn't follow suit.
Yeah, it's the NFL, and then there's the Raiders.
Right. Oh, every NFL resolution that the owners vote on, the Raiders vote no just out of spite.
Yeah.
Mark Davis is carrying on Al Davis's tradition of voting no against everything the rest of the owners want to do. Please look up history before you start coming at me, because I'm telling you that the story is a lot deeper than just trying to sound like you care about everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody doesn't deserve my defense and everything doesn't deserve my scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. It's a wild story. There's so much more to this. I was disgusted, right? Because Keyshawn Johnson gets on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Or Max. It's Max now.
It's Max now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He starts crying. I told people John Gruden was a bad person, but they all thought it was me, and I just wanted the ball, and I was a diva. And then look at him now. I tried to tell y'all.
Well, he was a diva.
Dave, see, today's sports fan was like, oh, man, Keyshawn, we should have listened to you. Keyshawn was throwing salt in the wound. He was kicking dirt on John Gruden when he was already 6 feet.
So we're talking about Keyshawn, the one that got drafted by the Jets.
Yeah.
That wrote the book that said, "Give me the damn ball."
Give me the damn ball.
We're talking about that Keyshawn.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. That Keyshawn that got himself basically sent away from the Jets to the Buccaneers. You know, that Keyshawn that then got deactivated on the Buccaneers after they won the Super Bowl, and then got sent to the Cowboys, who then let him go as well.
So
and his career ended. To Carolina, and then Carolina let him go, and his career ended. I'm talking about the same Keyshawn who has almost 900 career receptions and like 12 touchdowns. The Keyshawn that didn't catch touchdowns.
Yeah.
The Keyshawn that couldn't stretch the field. He was a skinny tight end with excellent hands, but he was a possession receiver.
Yeah.
Simple as that. That Keyshawn was never a great teammate, according to the public view and the public eye. Keyshawn wanted the ball, he wanted his money, and he wanted his shine. That's what he was about. But now you get to sit here and cry over John Gruden as if you tried to tell us something and that you were a great person this whole time. Maybe y'all both were trash. Because John Gruden was a very young coach and you were a very young person too.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see the clash there. It's kind of hard to get along with somebody as your boss when y'all are not that far in age.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And y'all two stubborn individuals.
Yeah. Exactly. And John Gruden's not taking mess from you or nobody. And you're the only person on the Buccaneers that ever came out against John Gruden. Everybody else won. They had really good careers. John Gruden got y'all over the top.
Yeah.
Now people say, yeah, that was Tony Dungy's team. That's partially true.
Yes, yeah.
But John Gruden got that offense working because prior to that, you had Sean King out there not being able to do much. There wasn't a whole lot of ball movement going on. But see, I'm not today's sports fan. I've been following sports forever. I remember those years. They needed someone to help them get over the top. And no one else would have been able to beat the Raiders that year except for John Gruden because he knew that
Yeah, he
team.
knew that team.
He put that team together, and
Yeah.
Bill Callahan just didn't change the plays. And honestly, I think what cost the Raiders that Super Bowl was Barry Robbins went crazy.
The center.
The center
Yeah.
disappears. The center was an all-pro
Was it like
center.
the night before or 2 days before the Super Bowl?
Yeah, the night before the Super Bowl, he
Yeah.
disappeared. They didn't know where he was at game time. And if anyone knows football, your center knows all of the plays, all of the protections. Rich Gannon had no protections there.
Yeah,
That Raiders team was loaded. They had Philip Buchanan and Charles Woodson on the other side of the ball. They were ready.
Then they had Tim Brown and Jerry Rice.
Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, and James Jett.
And who was the,
I can't remember who the tight end was right now.
I can't remember who was the running back.
Was it Napoleon
Kaufman?
Yeah, it might have been Charlie Garner.
I think it was both of them.
Yeah. Listen, man. Listen, we're not new sports fans. We're not cut from the same cloth as all these other guys. And I can't wait. Omar Edwards, me and you cool, but you wilding out.
When did the Tuck rule happen? Did the Tuck rule happen after that?
The Tuck rule? The Tuck rule happened the year before. Because no, you know what? It might have been it was the year before. Because the Raiders had the best team that year, but the Patriots.
No, because the game was in Foxborough, the Tuck rule.
It was.
So it might have happened the year after that. So the Raiders went to the Super Bowl and then went to the AFC Championship game after that.
They did. You're right. You're absolutely right.
So the Raiders had a nice run.
They did. Listen, man, the Raiders were almost a dynasty, a veteran dynasty. Rich Gannon was probably playing the best football in the NFL for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Rich Gannon he won the MVP.
Yeah, well, I was about to say he won the MVP.
Yeah, like
that stretch.
Listen, to look at this in totality, I don't think Gruden. If you wanted to suspend him for a few games, I would have been fine with that. 3-game suspension, that's big time. Withhold his check. Figure out some way to do that and tell him to apologize for that language and explain himself, right? But to just immediately go on the hunt, I think he stepped down because he knew who did it.
Yeah.
And he's done.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think Gruden, he never struck me as the kind of guy that ever had a problem owning what he was saying and doing because he was always known as an asshole,
right.
Which I think that's what he is. I don't think he's a racist. I just think he's an asshole.
Right.
And he was using asshole language amongst assholes,
mm-hmm.
right? But I just think that at this point in time, you know, he was through with it.
Yeah.
And it feels like a hit job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he knows he knows who's doing all the stuff, but he's just not telling.
Yeah, and it's no point in telling. He just said, "Look, I'll walk away."
Yeah.
And I think he still gets paid a majority of that contract.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he still gets paid. Coaches' contracts are usually fully guaranteed. They're ironclad. That's why getting fired ain't all that bad.
Yeah, and coach's contract doesn't go against the team salary cap.
What do you think about Tampa Bay removing him from the Ring of Honor?
I kind of figured that was gonna happen.
I don't get that though.
I don't get it neither, but I figured it was gonna happen because I guess they didn't want their name being associated with that. So
now I can understand like O.J. Simpson getting removed from something, right? Like it's a whole murder case.
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez. Yeah, like yo, we're gonna take you off the Patriots Wall of Fame. Like I get that. Or Darren Sharper. Yo, my man. Yo, we can't
forgot about
Darren Sharper or Kellen Winslow Jr.
Oh my god.
I get that. But to remove John Gruden, who's the coach,
Ray Caruth, like
Ray Caruth, let's get you off the wall of happy people or whatever, right? Like the wall of good people that played here. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think removing him from the Buccaneers 12th man or Ring of Honor or whatever that is, really, it's just symbolic of you trying to appease people. It just that really means nothing, and it's pointless at the end of the day.
They just wanted to be involved with something.
What do you think Gruden's legacy is going to be, though? Because I thought he did a good job in Oakland, man. He built the foundation there.
Yeah, he did. I think like NFL wise, I think his legacy took a big hit.
Yeah,
I think it did. Like he was an above average coach.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He knew his stuff. Like you could tell. Go back to when he was working for ESPN with the Gruden's
QB camp was the truth.
Yes,
even though he shouted out some quarterback, he was nice to a lot of guys.
Yeah, he knew his stuff.
Spider Y banana.
Yeah, that's his play.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it took a big hit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. NFL wise, like me personally, like you said, I don't care like what he did off the field, like the emails. locker room talk. Like I don't care. Yeah, I mean, but like as coaching goes, like he was a above average coach.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same league that gave Greg Hardy another chance.
Yeah, that gave Josh Gordon.
The 4 chances. Josh Gordon is on his 4th chance.
Yo, I was watching a clip on social media today of like Josh Gordon when he was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He talent just wasted.
Talent wasted. He's nothing now. He's just not. He's a shell of himself.
Yeah,
You can't just be away from the game that long. But that's a guy that's gotten several chances to get it right, and he never gets it right. But well, hey man, and he was actually working with the NFL. I don't know. It all stinks. Conspiracy. It's a hit job. Whatever.
yeah.
Our last topic is
But before we get off that,
yeah.
if anybody got any emails on David Gettleman, release them.
Yeah, release. I saw one Bears fans were looking for Matt Nagy's emails.
Like
They try to get him up out of
If
there.
you got anything on David Gettleman, release them joints, man.
But this is almost like Urban Meyer, man. We never got to talk about it, but
Yeah.
I don't like what he's going through either, man.
Nah.
That's his personal business,
It
man.
is.
You get a lap dance at your club from a young girl and you get spotted. That's TMZ business,
Yeah,
right? Like I know it's not becoming of you, and that's between him and the owner.
yeah.
But the NFL, this is not. It's none of our business, man.
Oh, he's a married man, and he's got. All right, well, let me deal with that when I get home.
Exactly. That's my household. Tiger
Yeah.
Woods had to deal with it. He got home.
Right.
He got a golf club to the mouth, a 9-iron to the mouth. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
And everybody looked the other way. My thing is with Urban Meyer, what do you expect from a millionaire married man who's a public figure in the one place where he's universally loved, Florida, North Florida?
Right.
Yeah, of course. I suppose someone's gonna like him. He's a hometown hero.
Right.
So listen,
we'll touch on that.
I'm gonna be enraged about stuff that needs to be enraged about, like DeMaurice Smith's time as NFLPA president.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna be mad about. Other than that, not everything deserves my attention.
Yeah.
But on to the last topic. I want you to tell me who the best team in NFL is right now. Number 1 in the power rankings.
I had to.
So you had to do the research.
Yeah, I had to go in my joint.
I'm gonna tell you who I think is the best team. You ain't gonna be surprised.
I think I have 6, so I have a tie for 5.
Okay,
For my
so you
top
got a
5.
top 5. Let's go.
Got Buffalo 1.
Let's go, baby. We agree there.
I got Buffalo 1.
I think delivering the knockout blow to KC on the road in the rain after a 1.5 hour delay at halftime, still come out and you put the screws to them.
Yes.
It's no denying that.
I got Arizona 2.
Ooh.
I mean,
they did beat the Rams, correct?
Yeah, undefeated for the only undefeated team in the league.
I
have to, I mean, I
Okay.
can't put you 1 because you beat the Rams, but beating the Rams and then Buffalo beating Kansas City at Kansas City. That's
At Kansas City, yeah.
that's tough. 3 I have Tampa Bay. Like I can't, like Super Bowl champions. Tom Brady is still doing what he got to do. So I can't.
Tom Brady is looking like 2007 Tom Brady.
Right, and it's scary.
Yeah, that is very scary.
4 I have Green Bay.
Green Bay at 4.
I got Green Bay at 4.
Not the Chargers? That's tough, man. That's tough.
I got Green Bay at 4. And tied at 5, I got the Chargers and the Cowboys.
Yo, Mac, hell has frozen over. Listen, man. Eagles fans, Gabrielle, Dave just put the Cowboys in the top 5, man. How about them Cowboys, man?
Hold on, let me wipe the tears out my eyes. First.
Yo, man. The biggest Giants fan I know just put the Cowboys in his top 5. So let's read them off again. You have Buffalo number 1 in agreement. Okay. Who's your number 2? Arizona. Tampa.
Green Bay.
And
the Chargers and the Cowboys tied at 5. because I wanted to put the Chargers at 5,
Yeah,
and I was gonna leave the Cowboys off, but I couldn't because Dallas beat them head to head,
yeah,
and it was a really really close game, which I think the Chargers should have won.
yeah. I got you.
But like I'm not surprised about Dallas offense.
Hmm.
I'm not. You know what I mean? With Dak at the quarterback before he got hurt, like he was, you know what I mean, he was putting up numbers. Um, I'm still not sold on their defense. The only thing their defense is doing well is they're actually taking the ball away. They don't have the likes of Byron Jones and Brandon Carr that's just gonna
No,
knock the ball down.
exactly. Yeah,
Like they're if
Trayvon Diggs is taking the ball
yeah, he's
away.
taking the ball
Yeah,
away. When they knock the ball out of your hands, they're going to pick it up.
he's got what 6 interceptions already.
Yeah, he got
That
six.
is crazy.
Right. So, you know, what I mean, it was hard to lead the Rams off, but I mean, if I had a top 10, they're clearly in the top 10. But and then going to the Chargers, like Justin Herbert's a player.
Right.
He is I think we spoke on that earlier when we talk about the top 10 young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He's got the Chargers rolling. And if the Chiefs don't get it right, like we probably seeing a change in the guard in the AFC West.
I think we're already seeing the changing of the guard because the Chiefs haven't even gotten to the thick of their schedule and they're already 2-3.
Right.
Which is why they're nowhere near my top 5. They might not even be top 10 right now because their defense is that bad.
Yeah.
They really look that bad, and their offense is taking a hit. I credit Michael Vick with this take. They were asking him like what happened to the Chiefs. They don't have that threat on the outside, that true number 1 receiver. They got a bunch of small guys, and the only thing the Bills gave up was underneath to those little guys, and they got physical with Travis Kelce, and it just shut them down.
I think you guys put a blueprint out
Yeah,
on how to beat
how to slow that offense
Yeah.
all the way down, because this was the first game this year where they didn't just march up and down the field on us.
right.
We got them off the field,
Yeah.
and we turned them over.
Yes. Baltimore did a pretty good job on them too, but y'all just like
Yeah, and we were hard hitting. I like that we were laying the wood, the guys out there, and then we were physical, we were tough with them, and we exercised that demon. This is why, like, I'm more comfortable about my Buffalo Super Bowl pick. I would never do this under normal circumstances, but I'm more comfortable about it right now. I think we're the most balanced team in the league right now. I got to go Buffalo as my number 1 team, man, and not just because they're my squad, but we have pretty much a top 3 offense and a top 2 defense.
mm-hmm.
We've pitched 2 shutouts this year
Mm-hmm.
already within the first 4 games. And in our 5th game, we knocked the Chiefs out. We put them down for the count in Kansas City.
If it wasn't for a
And
block,
we lead the league in takeaways.
if it wasn't for a block punt, y'all undefeated.
That is true. We were a block punt away. In Kansas City, if it wasn't for a fumbled punt, they're 1-4 and probably not going to make the playoffs, out of the playoff race, if Cleveland doesn't blow that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's why I say I got Buffalo 1. I still have the Rams number 2, right?
Okay.
Because I just don't trust Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust Kyler Murray. I don't know if I trust those older players to continue to make the impact that they're making as the season wears on.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to stay healthy? How long, is AJ Green going to be healthy later in the season?
Mm-hmm.
Is DeAndre Hopkins going to be a little hobbled? What's going to happen? Who else on that offense scares you?
How long is it going to take TJ Watt to get hurt?
Exactly.
JJ
Watt. Yeah. JJ Watt. They got a nice corner. What's my man's name? Byron Murphy. But
Chandler Jones is on the COVID list.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Like, that team is very old. And they haven't really been blowing the doors off teams. Right. So this is why I say Buffalo's been blowing the doors off teams. They pitched 2 shutouts in the rain.
Yeah.
People are discounting. They're saying, oh, you shut out the Dolphins and the Texans. That was in the pouring rain.
Yeah.
What
people, not to cut you off, what people need to realize, even though the Dolphins are bad and the Texans are bad, when you're a good team and you're playing a bad team, you kill them.
Yes.
You don't let them hang around.
Yes.
That's how you lose games. You let a bad team hang around, something can happen. A block punt can happen, a muff punt can happen, a missed field goal can happen.
Yeah.
You get rid of them as soon as possible.
Yeah. Pop says the Cardinals are real. I just don't trust them as much as I trust Buffalo right
Yeah.
now. You know, I'm just in that division is tough,
It is
right? Like the Rams will be back.
best division in football.
They're going to be a rematch. I want to see, I want to see what you look like when that rematch comes back around. So I have Buffalo 1. I have
Rams too.
Rams 2. I have Arizona 3, Tampa Bay 4, but that's interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady is rolling. And honestly, if I got to pick a game between Tampa Bay and Arizona, I'm taking Tampa Bay because they can
Hands
close
down.
the pocket on Kyler Murray, and he's not going to be able to beat you from the pocket. He's just too short, and he gets really inaccurate if you make him stand and throw from the pocket. Like
Mhm.
that ball sails every single time.
Right.
And then number 5, I'm looking. I got to go with Dallas, man. Baltimore is kind of on the outside because I think they've been extremely fortunate that they've run into teams that haven't been able to catch up to what they're doing on offense.
Right.
You know, I think if they have to play, the Chargers or they got to play the Bills, this is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't put the Chargers in that 5. They lost to the Cowboys. I don't think they're better than the Buccaneers, but they're also in that conversation around 5, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. Like no one else is in the top for me. I can't put Green Bay up there, but and I don't want to put Tennessee anywhere near there. I'm looking at the standings.
No,
So that's it, man.
I think Tennessee gets disqualified for losing to the Jets.
Yeah, if you lose to the Jets, you're disqualified from my
Yeah,
respect.
yeah.
And we got Tennessee Monday night coming up. So I may be talking a little heavy, but I'm talking heavy. This is the revenge tour for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Y'all beat us last year. We're coming back.
On a Tuesday night, right?
On a Tuesday night
Wednesday or something like
with
that.
no one available. Trey White was out. Matt Milano was out. Stephon Diggs was out. John Brown was out. I think even Cole Beasley was out. We were starting our kick returner at wide receiver. And they really didn't whoop us that game. We just had limited roster people available. Yeah. This is a totally different Buffalo Bills team this year. And I'm not a believer in Ryan Tannehill. Yeah. I think we have what it takes to force them to throw.
Yeah, and if you load the box on Derrick Henry, I don't believe. I think Julio Jones and AJ Brown are still out.
Yeah.
So he has no one to throw the ball to.
Nobody. And that's another thing. Julio Jones, another guy. People are, oh, Chris, why you hating on Julio Jones? Staying healthy, availability is the number one attribute in the NFL. Yeah. If you're a good player, I care more about your availability than what you could be able to do.
Right.
I need to know, can you play?
We know what you could do on the field when you're healthy.
Yeah.
When you're available.
Can you actually be out there on the field? So that's the thing. And if you're not able to attack Buffalo on the outside, I don't see them having a chance in this game. And I think we have the best coaching staff top to bottom in the NFL.
Yeah, Buffalo, y'all, you guys are working like a well-oiled machine.
Emmanuel Sanders.
It's a big pickup.
Yeah. Emmanuel Sanders is big.
He's taking a lot of pressure off of Diggs.
And he looks young.
Yeah.
And he's 34 years old, and he looks like he's 24. He's taking the top off the defense.
You need them veterans.
Yeah.
You need them veterans.
Yeah, good hands, everything, man. So,
yeah.
Yo, man, this was a good show, man. We got our NFL picks in. And anything else on the NFL, man? Anything else you see?
Nah.
Yo, the Lions head coach cried at the press conference after
he cares,
lost.
Man.
Look, man, I would cry too if I'd have lost like that.
He cares.
The Vikings fumbled in their own territory, gave y'all a game-winning touchdown with 33 seconds left, and y'all gave up 50 yards so the Duke could kick a 52-yard field goal.
He cares.
Yo, man, that was tough.
He cares.
That was tough, man.
I'm trying to see who's going to be available for the Giants Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to the game.
No, take a jersey. Try out.
I said that. I told him I'm going to wear a jersey and be like, let me just get some pads.
Right. Get Rayford on there,
yeah,
man. That's it.
Let me have to put my name on it.
Yeah.
I just trot me out there.
That's it, man. You be a gunner.
Yeah,
get pushed out of bounds.
Let me go.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a tough one for you guys. Who are they playing?
The Rams.
Who are you picking tomorrow night? The Buccaneers or the Eagles?
it's not who I'm picking, it's how much.
How you picking? Let's say, how are you picking the Buccaneers to win this game?
A lot to a little.
Yeah, because I thought the Eagles got lucky. They got their second win pretty early, man. And my 2-15 pick is in jeopardy right now, but I'm sure the Eagles will hold strong.
Yeah, they won't let us down.
No.
No, like I'm not even like the Cowboys whooped us
Yeah,
Sunday. It got bad once Daniel Jones got hurt.
right.
That's when the avalanche happened.
Yeah,
We were in the game, and then once we brought Mike Glennon in, I just waved the white flag.
I didn't know he was still in the league. I honestly didn't know he was still in the league. I was shocked when I saw Mike Glennon in there. But yeah, man. But it's gonna be a good week. We'll definitely be back next week. Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 26 is in the books, man. Episode 26. I got it right. A shout out to everybody. Check us out. Indio Group, YouTube page, Pick and Roll Podcast. Like, subscribe, share, support us, man. We really keeping it real, man. Well, we're not holding back. And I'm not holding back anymore. The few people are going to see this because I'm sending it out.
And he was name dropping.
I'm name dropping now. You're not going to disrespect me. All right. We can be cool. We can talk sports, but I need you to understand what cloth I'm come from and that we're most likely not the same. We're not on the same level. This is a privilege to be able to talk sports with me and my man Dave right now. All right. So that's what we're going to say. Yo, shout out to Reggie. He said he got here late, but the podcast is going to be up here. Leave your thoughts in the comments. We're going to post it on YouTube or on Facebook. So, and on YouTube this week. And follow the Indio Media Group page on Facebook. All right. So, yo, shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. We out. We'll catch y'all next week.
I knew Brian was going to say something.
I saw